The Galactic Survival Academy's orientation hall buzzed with nervous energy as 300 cadets from 47 species gathered for their first briefing. Jack stood among them, his regulation survival kit weighing heavy on his back. 47 items, each one mandatory, each one tested across 1,000 worlds. Anna walked in late, carrying nothing but a fixed-blade knife strapped to her thigh. Commander Valix, a Corinthian with scales that shimmered like oil on water, stopped mid-sentence. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence, focusing on the human female who had just disrupted his carefully rehearsed speech. "Cadet," Velix's translator device crackled. "Where is your survival kit?" Anna patted the knife. "Right here, sir." A ripple of chittering laughter spread through the alien cadets. Jack felt his face flush with second-hand embarrassment. Humans had only been part of the Galactic Council for 3 years, and they were still proving themselves. This wasn't helping. "That is, a knife," Velix said slowly as if explaining to a child. "Yes, sir. The survival kit contains 47 essential items. Water purification tablets, emergency beacon, thermal regulator, plasma starter, medical synthesizer, nutritional blocks rated for 37 different metabolisms." "I've got a knife, sir," Anna repeated, her voice calm and steady. "This should cover it." Velix's scales rippled with what Jack had learned to recognize as profound irritation. "You will fail. You will likely die. Humans may be resilient, but arrogance is fatal in the wilderness." "Understood, sir." The commander assigned partners randomly. By cruel cosmic irony, Jack was paired with Anna. 3 hours later, they stood in the deployment bay. Around them, other teams checked their gear with methodical precision. Jack watched a Thoraxian cadet verify each of his 47 items against a holographic checklist for the 3rd time. "You know this is insane, right?" Jack whispered to Anna as they waited for transport. She smiled, checking the edge of her blade with her thumb. "Is it?" "We're being dropped on Kepler 442b, Class 7 Death World, megafauna, carnivorous plants. Atmospheric pressure that'll make your lungs feel like they're being crushed. And you brought a knife." "And you?" Anna nodded at his bulging pack. "Everything on the list. Like a rational person. That pack weighs what, 30 kilos? 28. How fast can you run carrying 28 kilos? Jack opened his mouth, then closed it. The drop was terrifying. Their pod screamed through Kepler 442b's atmosphere, heat shields glowing white-hot, before deploying parachutes that jerked them to a bone-rattling halt. They landed in what the briefing had optimistically called moderately hostile terrain, a jungle where the trees had teeth and the ground occasionally tried to digest you. By day 2, Jack understood why Anna had smiled. When the water purification tablets ran out, she showed him how to find water vines. When his plasma starter's battery died in the humid air, she made fire with her knife and a piece of flint. When a pack of 6-legged predators surrounded their camp, she didn't waste time fumbling with the sonic deterrent device. She made their campfire roar with a mixture of dried sap and crushed leaves, creating a wall of flame and smoke that sent the creatures fleeing. "Your people did this before space travel, didn't they?" Jack asked on the 3rd night, watching her strip bark from a tree with efficient, practiced movements. "For about 200,000 years, Anna replied, weaving the bark into cordage. "Give or take. Most species went from caves to starships in 10,000 years. We took the scenic route." She tested the cordage's strength, nodded, and began constructing a snare. Learned a lot along the way. On day 5, they encountered the Thoraxian cadet who had checked his gear so carefully. His survival kit was scattered across a ravine, crushed, drowned, or simply dissolved by the planet's creative ecosystem. He was trapped on a cliff face, too exhausted to climb. Anna scaled the cliff with her knife as an improvised piton, wedging it into cracks and using it to pull herself up. She cut away poisonous creepers, fashioned a harness from vines, and lowered it to the Thoraxian. Jack helped pull him up using rope Anna had made from plant fibers. "How?" the Thoraxian wheezed, his translator barely functional. "How does a single blade—" "It's not about the blade," Anna said, cleaning mud from her knife. "It's about knowing that every problem has a solution if you're willing to work for it. Your species had technology handed to you by others, right? Uplifted into the galactic community?" The Thoraxian's antenna drooped in acknowledgement. "Humans had to figure out every single thing the hard way. We learned that the universe doesn't care about your comfort, your plans, or your 47 essential items. It just is. You adapt or you die. On day 7, when the extraction shuttle arrived, 23 teams had failed. 17 had activated their emergency beacons and been disqualified. 3 teams had died, their survival kits unable to save them from a planet that actively wanted them gone. Anna and Jack walked back to base, supporting the Thoraxian between them. Anna's knife hung at her hip, still sharp, still ready. Commander Velix waited at the landing pad. His scales had turned a shade. Jack's translator labeled as grudging respect. "Cadet Anna," Velix said formally, "I owe you an apology." "No need, sir," Anna smiled. "You were right, arrogance is fatal in the wilderness. But confidence born from 10,000 generations of survivors, that's different." She unstrapped her knife and held it up to the light. The blade had scratches now, stories etched into its surface. "My great-great-grandmother carried a knife like this when she homesteaded in Montana. My grandfather had one in the Pacific Theater. My mother kept one in her pack when she worked disaster relief. It's not about having the right tools, Commander. It's about being the right kind of person to use whatever you have." Felix nodded slowly. "Perhaps this is why the Council fears humanity. Not because you are warriors or geniuses, but because you are survivors who refuse to accept defeat." Anna slid the knife back into its sheath. "We prefer to think of it as being optimists with contingency plans." As they walked away, Jack couldn't help but laugh. "You know what the scariest part is? You really did think the knife would cover it." "Of course," Anna said. "But next time I'll bring 2 knives. Why 2? She grinned. "One for me, and one to lend to my partner when he realizes 47 items is 46 too many." Jack looked at his battered, depleted survival kit, then at Anna's simple blade. In the reflecting surface, he could see not just a tool, but a symbol of everything that made humanity simultaneously terrifying and admirable to the galaxy at large. They didn't need 47 items to survive. They just needed to be human, and that, the galaxy was learning, was more than enough.